Good evening, everyone. Let's give it up for our Walk the Talk band. Yes. Now listen, every time you hear them playing over here, I need you to do a little dance, okay? We're going to have fun tonight. Matter of fact, everybody get up. Can you play us something upbeat real fast? And it's okay if you don't know how to dance, just do a little two-step. Hey! Do a little dance. We love you unconditionally. We like to have fun at Walk the Talk. So my name is Lindsay Vertner, and I am your Walk the Talk Speaker Series host for tonight's event on unconditional love. So I want to share a quote with you. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "You cannot drive out darkness with more darkness. Only light can do that. You cannot drive out hate with more hate. Only love can do that." Think about that. Only love can drive out hate. And unfortunately, our world is running rampant with hate right now. So many people hate other people for their race or their cultures. And even more of us have hate for ourselves. We hate our bodies. We hate our hair. We hate the things that we have not achieved because we put conditions on our love. We put conditions on how we choose to display love to others. So what is unconditional love? To love unconditionally, that means to love without limits, to love without conditions, despite whatever flaws may be present. What type of world would we live in if we loved our neighbors unconditionally? How would we improve the quality of our lives if we loved ourselves unconditionally? So before I introduce our speakers tonight, I want to introduce to you our Walk the Talk Juniors. We traveled all the way to Avondale Meadows Academy to interview the students and find out what is their take on love. And what's the meaning of love to them? Check it out. Did you hear those last words? Out of the mouths of babes, right? Love is very important because you have to share it. You can't just hold it on to yourself. You have to share it with others. So you are going to hear 6 different stories on unconditional love from 6 phenomenal women as they share their own perspectives on what unconditional love means to them. Now, as you're listening to each speaker, I want you to take a nugget from each one and figure out how you can implement that into your own life every day. So our first speaker is all the way from Colombia and has only moved to the States just 6 years ago. She has a very calming spirit about her, and I know you'll love her too. Please welcome Juanita Milano Parra to the stage.
Thank you.
Wash, rinse, and repeat is not just for your hair, okay? So, how would you suggest to the audience, what are some ways that they can begin to identify their weapons so that they can wash, rinse, and repeat in self-love?
Yeah, I think there's a lot about the words and the actions that we use for ourselves. So when you notice certain things that you tell yourself, just ask you, like, would you tell that to someone you love? Like, would you tell them to your favorite person, your best friend, your kid? And if not, then what's up? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, our next speaker, she found her truth after reading a book called Conversations with God. Now, Somebody's read that book over here, yeah? Now it is her purpose to help others live authentically and to find their truths. And every time I see her, she makes me smile. So please welcome Trisha Phillips to the stage. Good job. So, how would you suggest that we overcome our own egos so that we can display courageous acts of love?
Wow. I think that, I think it's very difficult to determine if it's your ego leading you around or if it's your soul speaking wisdom to you. So I think what I would ask myself is, this action that you're going to do or you're thinking about doing, who's it serving? Is it serving yourself? If so, that is your ego. If it is serving another, that is God.
Thank you. So, our next speaker is an international recording artist, and she is a DJ for the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever. And I'll share a little secret with you. She didn't used to like hugs. Please welcome Kristen KB Newton to the stage. You know I'm gonna do it. Hug. She's a hugger now, guys.
I am a hugger.
So what advice would you give those that maybe feel they're a little rocky in the friend area? What is their first step into putting themselves out there so that they can make friends?
First step to making friends as an adult, just do it. It's going to be different for everyone. Some of you in here are introverted and are like, absolutely not. No, but all of us are different, and we all have our own life experiences. But I would just say make it a priority. Choose to make friends. Choose to put yourself out there to make connections with people who aren't romantic relationships or connections or family, because there's something about you that someone else needs. And all of these relationships really are connected and help us to be better people in our other relationship dynamics. So just do it. That's my advice. Don't think too hard about it. Just do it.
Just do it. Thank you. So our fourth speaker tonight, she is an author of a book called Love You More, Poems and Affirmations. She is a former psychiatric nurse, and for that position, you definitely need to display a lot of unconditional love. Welcome our next speaker, Katasha Thomas. You must first love yourself before you love anyone else. Self-love you have to make a priority in your life, right?
Correct.
So for those in the audience that may be sitting in their own room of abandonment, how would you suggest they begin to escape?
Acknowledge where you are. That's the first step. The second step is get some help. Talk to someone. Get a tribe around you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Get some help, find that tribe, and begin those heart combos, as KB said. So our next speaker coming to the stage is the author of The Burnout Factor, and she has traveled the world only to find out that all the love she needed was right inside of her. Please welcome April Irving.
We got the red dress and the red.
I know.
The red dress.
We're twinsies.
Yes.
So we are so grateful that you shared your struggles with us all, because your story is someone else's breakthrough.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
I always say that there is purpose in your pain, but it's up to you to figure out what that purpose is. Otherwise, you're suffering for nothing.
Amen. Definitely.
So, what would you say is the first step in turning your whole into a whole?
I would probably say the first step is give yourself some grace. We all make mistakes. None of us are perfect, and we're going to keep on making mistakes. But give yourself some grace, and also give yourself permission to go deep within.
Yes.
To really examine it for yourself before you even share with anybody else. Just take your time to focus on you and give yourself some grace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, our final speaker tonight has auditioned for Walk the Talk Speaker Series 6 times, and we are honored and grateful that she is here speaking on our stage for her 3rd time. Please welcome Miss Margie Worrell. So, unfortunately, not all of us have been able to experience unconditional love. So, for those in the audience that haven't been able to experience that type of love, how do we begin to display something that we've never experienced before?
I think that's a really great question. I think the first thing is that you have to believe that you have a little piece of the divine inside you. We all do. When you look at yourself in the mirror, I want you to say to yourself, man, I am a child of the universe, and I am freaking awesome, because you are. And if you say that to yourself often enough, you just might start to believe it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay.
So, as I was sitting backstage, I realized that some of us have trouble giving and receiving unconditional love because we don't feel that we're good enough and deserve unconditional love ourselves. So I want all of you to repeat after me. Can you do that? Yeah. Okay, great. I like this side right here. You guys pick it up, pick it up. So, I am not just good enough. But I am more than good enough of receiving unconditional love, and I am fully capable of giving unconditional love. Give yourself a round of applause. Now, let's welcome all of our phenomenal speakers back out on the stage.